Are you dealing with a difficult agent on the other side of a transaction? Today I'm going to tell you how to turn that around and make it a transaction that leads to more business. All right, guys, if you've been in this situation before, and most of us have, you're dealing with someone on the other side that is extremely difficult, maybe incompetent, and maybe is just making a transaction more difficult than it has to be. And I've even had situations where it's cost me transactions. So what I want to do today is I want to share with you a couple of things you can do to control this situation in a way that leads to not only a closing, but somewhere where you turn a negative into a positive. The first thing is to be the thermostat. What do I mean by that? Basically what I mean is that you control the temperature of this situation. If you heat up, I'll promise you, your buyer or your seller is going to feel that heat change. They're going to get emotional. What can you do? You can keep it calm. You can go through and give the facts, but you can keep it in a way that keeps it and turns it to a positive. What I like to say is that when I'm going into these situations, I always try to tell whoever I'm working with and the other agent, listen, we've got a buyer that wants to buy, we've got a seller that wants to sell, let's don't get in the way of this. Let's make sure that we do everything possible so that we get through not only this time where we're going into the closing, but that we build relationships that go forward. I try to commit to that other agent that I'm going to do my very best to make sure that this transaction is as smooth as possible. When you begin to be the thermometer, you set this and you come in and you're the thermostat where you're setting the temperature, you're going to control that situation a little better. The second thing that I would say is to attack the problem, not the person. What do I mean by that? Many times what we'll have is we'll have people that will get emotional. We're in an emotional business. Buying real estate, selling real estate is emotional. People have ties to that property or they're excited about what this is going to do. The best thing you can do is to understand that when there is a problem, don't attack the other agent. Don't attack the seller if you're working with the buyer. Attack the problem. Find ways to find solutions rather than moving that temperature up as we talked about earlier. Find a place where you're always talking about, now we're going to get to this place and we're not going to take this personal. I'm not going to let this seller who's being difficult, this agent who's going to be difficult, keep you as the buyer from all of these family legacy memories that are in this property. When you begin to get back and you focus on a problem instead of the person, it definitely is going to help move the process forward. The last thing that I would say, and probably the most important, is to understand that you can only control what you can control. When you come to a place where there's a point where there's nothing else you can do, understand that what you can do is you can try to bring positivity to the situation. There are difficult situations. There are difficult transactions. It's part of our business. The difference is what the great agents do is they turn these negatives and they find the positives. They highlight the positives. Instead of talking about that seller to your buyer that is making it difficult and is saying they will not do these things, talk to the buyer about, let's get back to focusing on why you want this property. Let's get back to focusing on the family memories and the legacy. Let's focus on the problem and not on the person. When you focus on the positive things in a transaction and just in general in life, I promise you things are going to turn for the better. I hope this is helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.